All right, I'm gonna do a little video today. Today is the 13th of April. I want to get these hives, do what I need to do to get them ready for the flow and be either done with it or do what needs to be done. So just to give you a little idea of where we're at and where we need to be, what we're looking at today. I'm gonna get in a few of them, it looks like, but I'm gonna show you these notes first that we've made on them, and go down through here and look at what we're going to do. We looked at them yesterday and got a good idea of what's in the hive, so I know what's in the hive now. I did an assessment on them, and now I can go back and do what I need to do to finish off and be done with them. The hives that's ready to make honey, now's the time we want to get them ready and leave them alone. If they got a good queen and are in good shape and don't have too many bees, then we need to leave them alone and let them do their thing. So this will be the last manipulation on some of them just before the honey flow. All right, we're just starting at the end. This one had yesterday had 7 and 0, so 0 at the top, so we're going to replace the queen. This one yesterday had 8 and 6, 8 frames in the bottom and 6 at the top, so we're going to pull put an excluder, shaker down below the excluder, and pull some of those off. It's too heavy for the this time of year. I want a full bottom and empty top. We're in Kentucky, about 20 miles south of Louisville is where we're at. Trees are starting to bloom out. There's my mess up there by the barn. The trees haven't really bloomed out, but the underbrush is blooming or starting to do what it's going to do. Give you an idea of our forage. But this one had 8 and 6, so we're going to pull some of those off the top after we're shaking the queen down, make sure we don't get her. This one we added second hive body after removing a split only 3 days ago, so we're going to leave it. Same thing on this one. This one had 8 and 8, and we put a queen excluder in the bottom so we can pull frames off the top, and then we'll put in where we either make a split or we'll put them in where we need them. This one we're going to leave it. This one we're going to leave it. It had 7 and 6, but it's got a shallow on the bottom. This one had 5 frames in the top, so we're going to put an excluder on it. This one I'm not sure. I didn't show signs yesterday of having a queen in it. And it had some open queen cells, so we're probably going to replace the queen in it. We've got a cell starter built down here. This one had 9 in the bottom, 9 frames in the bottom, 5 in the top, so we're going to put an excluder on it. What I'll probably do is move one of those 5 top frames down in the bottom. I'll have 4 frames, and I'll either move them to another hive or make a split. These splits we brought splits back from the Milby yard. This is one we brought back. We brought back on the 10th. We stowed some brood out of here to build our cell builder, which is the one there with blue on the bottom. So we're gonna edit some of these tops. Instead of making another split, where I add brood and make sure they got a good full 10 frames in there and can make their own queen. Same way on this one. This nuke is still building up. We'll probably leave it. This is our cell starter finisher. The cell starter right now, we've got a double screen. We've got our entrance in the back. Double screen right there in the yellow. Entrance in the back for the top part. We'll let them, that bottom is super full. I put 15 frames of nurse bees in that bottom, so they are super full. I was going to graft today, but I think now I'm going to graft tomorrow. And I'll go through that box and make sure. 2 days, watched Jerome Bee Farm and Homestead, and he made the point that in 2 days you should be able to see in queen cells. So we'll go through there tomorrow. It's supposed to, I think, maybe rain tomorrow night and be sunny during the day. So we'll go through that tomorrow, make sure there's no queen cells. We've got a frame of eggs and larvae in there. We'll take that out, and we've got a feeder in there too. We'll take make sure our feeder's full, take that frame of eggs and larvae out, and put our grafts in. This is a nuke that's still filling up. We're going to add brood. It's another split from Milby. We're going to add brood to hit. Same thing. Add brood to this one. This one had 5 frames in the top on the 7th. So we're going to put an excluder, excluder, excluder. So there's some of our equipment. I'm going to go up and look at these other hives. These bees are really super busy. Today everything's getting started. This one had a second hive body after removing a split, so we're going to leave it. This one is got plenty of bees and a feeder in it, so we're going to go ahead and fill the feeder. This one's got plenty of bees, we're going to leave it. That's from the Milby yard. This one had, I opened it up yesterday, had 9 and 9, but when I checked the frames, it was pollen and nectar, but no brood. So we're going to give these top feeder frames to some other hives. We got to get some of those bees off of there. This one had 8 and 7, so we're going to put an excluder. This is a split. I didn't mark it. Split from a Milby, so we're going to leave it. See if I can mark it. They should be good to leave them. This one, on the 7th, we wrote that it needs a new queen. It don't actually need as many queens as I thought, so I just put a note on there. It needs a queen. When we get our cell builder, get our cells out from our cell builder, we'll put a new queen down here. We're gonna do our queens first, and then any we have left over, we'll sell. But we're going to definitely do ours first. One of our problems, we have 3 problems with it that we have to deal with. One is nutrition, which we do by feeding and make sure they get it through to spring and make sure they're good and heavy. The mites, take care of the mites with our mite treatment program. I personally haven't had problems with mites in the spring. It's always when it gets to August. So our mites are good, our nutrition's good. Some of our queens are not so good. So any of them that fall behind, we'll put queens in. This one we're going to put an excluder on, and this is another split from the Milby yard, and we're going to leave this one the way it is. So we know what we want to do from the outside of the hive. It simplifies things a little bit. We've got some queen excluders out here. We'll get some more. We've got some inner covers I was looking for yesterday out here, so we'll be utilizing them. But we'll go ahead and do today, start getting some of these final manipulations done so that we can leave them alone and have them ready for the spring flow. All right, going back up here to check the hives again. I've put the queen excluders in them, and I've got a few frames of bees that I want to take off. Hives is too strong, and I got a few of the starter hives, walk-away splits that we've done that need some brood. So I'm gonna fill all those up first, and then if I have any extra, I'll make another nuke or another split, walk-away split. So that's what we're doing. This hill always gets me out of breath. That's what we're doing. We've got a couple here together that's got queen excluders on them with brood up top, and then we got a couple needing brood, so we'll go ahead and do that, gear up and get that done. They're still a little bit riled up where we was in them before. These two, if you can see it, it's got the excluder here and the check mark excluder there, so we put excluders on both of them. We've got 10 and 2, so we got 2 frames of brood here. We've got 2 here and queens below the excluder in both of those. This one says leave, so I'm leaving that one alone. And then this little one down here, I'll bring you down here in just a second. It says add brood. So we're gonna take the 2 frames of brood out of here and put them into one in our split from the other yard. Hive tool go. I had a yellow one. I don't have no idea where it's at. This hive was a little aggressive a while ago. I bet I have to get the gloves on for this one. I'll give him some good smoke. Maybe it won't be so much because I got everything separated out. They should have come up here and got on this brood. Got a frame of foundation they got to get filled out. That's a frame of honey and nectar. Get off. That's a frame of nectar. I thought I had 2 brood up here. Yeah, there's a frame of brood there. I don't have to worry about having a queen on this, so I can go ahead and move it to another hive without worrying about it. Not sure if that other one's got it or not. All right, I'm gonna take you down here and show you where we're putting it. Like I said, I'm gonna fill up these boxes first before making any more splits. Split from a Milby yard, add brood. Still need our inner cover on that one. And you can see there's several frames in there. And there's brood right there. So we'll go ahead and add that frame of brood in. We want to put it right next to your other brood. So this frame here has brood on it. So we're going to put this one right next to it. Nurse bees will stay. Field bees will go back to the other hive. See if there's another one. I marked them with 2 frames of bees. Might not necessarily be brood. Yeah, it's brood. Yeah, so there's another frame of brood from that other hive. So we're just filling in. We're helping this hive because they need more bees, and we're helping the other hive because they need less bees. So we've got the other one for a production hive, and then we've got this one for a split, good strong split. I'll put these 2 frames back in this one. All right, so there's that one. And then there's our donor hive. So we got 10 and 0 on that now. We'll just mark that on the top. Zero. And then this other one we're going to call good. So we're going to put leave on this one. Just to leave it alone. Add brood, mark that out. Leave. All right, this one's good. And we can put a feeder top on that one later. Now this one here, we had 10 and 2, so we'll just go on down. Next one needs brood too. So we'll just go on down to the next one. Get you back here where I can move you a little better. Quit. All right, there's the next one with the hive tool on it. So the hard work is done when I come out here earlier and shook them all down below the excluder. And now I know that there's no queen up here, so I can freely move them around the way I want to without worrying about the queen. It cost me a lot of money by moving the queen. I thought I was good enough. I could know the queen. When I thought I could see it when I was moving these hives around. Let's get you where you can see both of them. And I would move the queen, and it would cost me a production hive. So a hive that would normally have made basically $500 worth of honey didn't make anything. I had 2 hives for the next year, but no honey crop. So to me, it's a $500 expense. If you move that queen. So I definitely do not want to move the queen, and this way I know for sure that I haven't. All right, this is definitely a frame of brood. We'll take it down here. So yeah, I'll take the extra time now and make sure I don't get the queen in my splits. I let that split raise her own queen. I don't count it for a production hive for this year. I count it for a production hive for next year. And I'm good with that. Okay, we want to get over to our brood. Put our brood together so it stays together. All kind of pollen coming in. There's brood right there. And here's our, no, it's a honey frame. One's on top. Nope. Where'd it go? Oh, it's down here. Yeah, here's our brood frame. It's got brood and larva in it. So we'll go ahead and put it in. Those are not queen cells, even though they might look like it. A good frame of brood to go in this split, which is what they need. We took it out yesterday because it was convenient while we was making our cell builder. That doesn't really have anything in it either, so we'd really just have one frame of brood. That's all we had up here. I'm gonna give them this frame of nectar too. All right, so this one is good now, so we can mark it to leave it. the frames we had left over. This is where we want this box. And I'll come back here in a little bit and pull out those queen excluders where she can come back up in there. Some of it have to be kind of drawed out there a little bit, and then some of it's pretty good. But that's where I want them. Right now, today's the 13th of April, close enough to the 15th. I got a full bottom box and an empty, basically drawn comb top box. So that's what I'm looking to have. That's where I feel like I need them to be to get the most out of the flow. We get most of our flow here in Kentucky in May, and they'll be peaking out right for the main part of the flow. They'll use the flow that's coming right now and fill this box up, these two boxes up, and be ready to go full speed in May. So that'll be good. All right, I'll show you my cell builder I built. Like I said, I watched Jerome B. Farm in Homestead. He was doing the same thing yesterday when he made a video on it and I didn't. But that blue box is my cell builder. I put all the bees. I took that hive. That was a really strong hive. It had 9 frames in the top, 9 frames in the bottom. I took all the bees in cat brood and put in the bottom and left the entrance facing the same way so the field bees would come back to that bottom. And then the top, I left any eggs and larvae and the queen are all on the top. And you can see the entrance there coming out the opposite way. For the top. So all that heat from the bottom comes up through the top and warms that brood through that double screen. The screen's on both sides of that yellow board there in the middle. And then I just had, I think it's actually cherry wood spacers. They're 1/2-inch spacers on the top and the bottom to take up that extra space. But I did a short, there's a short on here too of the bees marching into the colony, but I put a ramp up to the front of it and put a sheet over top of it, and I shook 15 frames of nurse bees onto that ramp to hopefully have enough in that bottom box to do a good job raising our queen cells. So we'll see tomorrow. I'm gonna come out here when it warms up and pull that top off and the double screen off, and I'm gonna take that blue box and go completely all the way through it. I'm not looking forward to it because it's got a ton of bees in there. And I'm gonna shake the bees off of each frames and look for any queen cells. And if there is any, I'll tear them down. I don't want them to have anything to build a queen with except what I give them on the graft. And I'll graft. I think my grafts have 15 per bar, 14 or 15. I wasn't real picky about it. So 15, 30, 45, roughly 40, probably queen cells I'll graft for each bar, so it'll be 40 in that blue box, and we'll see what kind of take we get. I'm reluctant to tell y'all about it because it could be a flop. You never know. I've raised a lot of queens over time, but I haven't really got done it enough. I'll do it once a year maybe. I just don't have the bees to stock all the boxes, to stock the the cell starter needs a lot of bees, and then once those queens are ready to emerge, if you don't sell the queen cell, you've got to have a nuke or something to put the queen cell in, so that takes a lot of bees. So it takes away from your honey production, and it's hard to do too many of them. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I might try to raise another round in it and do it again. Might do it 2-3 times. It just depends on how things goes, how things go, and what we decide to do, how we decide to do it. So we'll see how it goes. But I'll try to tape tomorrow. I'll try to record the grafting and get all that recorded, so you can see that. It's hard to see that grafting stuff, and grafting is something that's intimidating to a lot of people. I don't know that I'm intimidated by it. I've done it a lot. It's so I was gonna say time consuming, but that's not it. It's you just got to be there. You know, in 10 days, those queen cells are gonna start coming out, gonna start emerging, and if you don't get them out before that, they're gonna kill each other, and it's not gonna work out. So, I do have an incubator. I use an egg incubator to you know, I can take them out. I think it's 6 days. I have to double check, but I think it's 6 days. You can take them out. They cap them, and you can take them out. All that's got to be done with them then is to keep them warm. Keep them, I think, at 93 degrees, and then try to keep the humidity up really high too. So, and then you'll have queens. But like I say, you've got to have somewhere to go with them when they're ready. They won't wait on you. They won't wait on the rain. They won't wait on the wind. They won't wait on bad weather. They won't wait on customers. If you got a customer who wants to buy a queen cell, they're not going to wait until they're ready to get a queen cell. You're going to get a queen cell, you're going to get a virgin. So they don't wait on anything. So that makes it kind of tough. Even when, you know, I thought once I retired that it would be a lot easier, and of course it is easier, but it's still, you know, there were some days last year that I was needing to do some queen stuff, and it was pouring down rain, and you know, some stuff didn't get done when it was supposed to. So you got to be ready to do it, and have a way worked out where you can get things done no matter what, because they wait for no one. So we're going to try it again this year, see what we get. We might try to sell some queens. We've got several that need queens down through here. I had some marked add brood, some marked, this was marked sell starter finisher, and then several marked queen. I went through, you know, doing two things. Earlier, when I put those queen excluders on, I checked them all for, you know, any that I need to pull off the top, and the other thing I did is check the queen's pattern and how she was doing in there. And some of them had quite a few bees, but she didn't have a good pattern. And I did see several green marked queens, which is good. I try to mark all my queens because I like to keep track of the age of them, but it's hard to get them all marked a lot of times. So we'll get those in there if we get some good queens. I've got to do a better job of getting better queens. I think we all need to do better at getting better queens. We're too reluctant to pinch a bad queen and to do something else. So I'm going to replace queens, and I'm going to see how they do. And some of them don't do so good, then I'll replace them again. So I'm going to be a lot more, I'm not going to be as reluctant to pinch a queen if she's not doing good, because we end up nursing hives and keeping bad queens through the winter, and nurse them a lot when we shouldn't. Like I say, there's three things we got to worry about: nutrition, mites, and queens. Nutrition and mites we do, I think, fairly good on. We're doing a lot better on. Queens, I know I don't do as good a job on, and if I had to guess, we all could do better at their queen, having good quality queens in there. So it's something easier said than done, and sometimes you just got to keep trying, and that's what I'm intend to do this year, is to keep trying until I know I got some good queens to go through winter. I think that'll help our whole operation out to be able to do that, even if I do have to sacrifice some bees and some honey production to do it. In the long run, it's really going to help. So anyway, that's where we're at. That's what we're doing. I appreciate y'all watching. Thanks a lot, and God bless y'all, and I'll see you on the next video.